What's up guys, my name is Josh and today we are reviewing two classic headphones, the Sennheiser 598 open back and the Sennheiser 598 closed back. And if you got 150 bucks and you're looking to buy one of these, I'm going to tell you which one to buy. Which one sounds better? That is the hard question here because they actually sound similar but different. Same but different. You know how it goes. If you want to just get into the basics, I would say that the closed sound more analytical, a little tiny bit more flat. They bring up the highs and they bring up the lows just a tiny bit to match the mid-range, which Sennheiser is so famous for. The opens are more enjoyable as a listening headphone, as like a music headphone, not really an analysis type of headphone. And that kind of brings me to one of the points, is that the one I suggest depends on your needs and what you want. So the closed versions on here, they let in a little bit of noise. They're not the best closed cans I've ever heard. Bose Quiet Comforts are way more isolating regarding noise than these are, but these aren't bad. The one I suggest depends on what you actually need and what you were looking for sound. See, this one is the closed version is gonna be your most versatile simply because, let's say you wanna listen at home, you can use those. Let's say you wanna listen on the bus, you can use those. Let's say you wanna listen on an airplane. These are a little bit more specific if you don't wanna be dealing with a lot of background noise and you don't want everybody else to hear your music. Sit in a quiet home and listen to these without anything disrupting the sound. It's not really anything to say about these, just more of the principles behind open and closed headphones. So if you have a specific need, your mind is probably already made up. But let's say you're always sitting at home listening to your headphones. Which one sounds better for that? Are you an audiophile or do you just enjoy music? If you enjoy music, this. It's got a good Sennheiser sound signature. I really enjoy it. Some people don't, but I like it, so I suggest it. It has very good imaging. The bass roll-on is very smooth and it goes really deep. It really digs down into that bass range. Not so much as the closed, but it's definitely not lacking in that category. The impact is decent. Not the best I've ever heard, but definitely decent. The highs roll off a little bit, which I consider a good thing because I'm really high sensitive, so companies like Beyerdynamic are really notorious for having kind of piercing highs, but neither of these are like that. Now, I would say that the closed versions, they bring up the bass and they bring up the highs probably due to the physical restraints of being a closed back, and it brings it to a more even sound signature. Not as even as like M50s or M40s. Comparison between these and the M40s are coming soon too. But they bring it into a more even light. So if you're gonna be more analytical, if you're gonna be mixing music with these, or doing anything besides just listening to them, I would pick these, especially if you fall into that audiophile category. I think they're a little bit better than the open backs. Not a ton. They're very comparable, they're very close. I don't think you will be disappointed with either, but if you had to pick a place to put your money, I would pick these. Like I said in the beginning, for $150, I think that there are honestly better options than both of these. However, if you like the way these sound, then they're not necessarily better. I just think for my taste, they are a little bit better. Another thing I noticed when switching between A and B is that these are like 5 to 10% harder to drive. I actually had to physically turn the knob like a decent amount to get the same volume as I was getting on the closed versions. Also, the open back seem to respond better to a tube amp than the closed do, but both of them on solid states and tubes sound pretty damn good. And then the last thing for sound I want to go over is the Soundstage. Now, regarding as close as one of these headphones can sound to your head, like really in your head kind of music, these are better. Regarding how far out in the Soundstage they can go, the open backs. And that's not really a surprise given the whole like one's open, one's closed thing, but it is something that you should pay attention to. So if you're really big into Soundstage like I am, like I'm getting more and more into Soundstage, I really appreciate a really wide Soundstage. They're not the widest, but they definitely have a good, enjoyable range. Okay, the build is absolutely identical. You got these solid plastics. I'm gonna go over everything build quality wise in the full size review, so definitely keep an eye out and subscribe for that. Basic overview is that the headband is not comfortable at first, but then it settles in on your head and then everything's cool. They are all plastic. They don't really make too much noise when you move them around, which is a benefit to me. Neither option do. The clothes are a little bit heavier. One is open, and then the other one is closed, just like that. And then the last thing to note about build quality is that the ear pads are a little bit different. This one is like kind of like a micro suede type of material. It's very soft. It's got memory foam underneath it. And then this one just has some kind of like, it has like a microfiber cloth type of feel, and then just standard foam underneath. The closed pads are a little bit more comfortable after time, but they do get hotter. Now, the elephant in the room, and something that I think should be assessed on every headphone review, is there something better for the money? I would say yes. If you want to talk about ultimate build quality, Monoprice M560s. Those are made of metal through in and throughout. They're a planar dynamic driver, and they sound pretty wonderful, and they can be open or closed. Just out of features and build quality, I would say those are better, and they're about $150 on Monoprice. For analytics, I would say M40s or M50s. Those have a significantly flatter sound signature, so they're going to be better for that. For pure enjoyment, I can't answer that for you, unfortunately. I can tell you what these sound like, and I can tell you what another pair of headphones sound like, but I can't tell you which one that you will prefer. So I recommend trying these. If you've never heard these, they are a good pair of headphones. You're not going to be disappointed if you get them. I want to stress that fact. Unless you absolutely hate these for one reason or another, you're not going to be disappointed. And there are a ton of reviews on Amazon to back me up on that. And if you want to see all the songs that I tested or any of my other videos, links to everything are in the description down below. I will see you guys on the next review or comparison. Until then, stay safe. Have a good one, subscribe to the channel, and don't drown. All of those things are good advice. Peace out.